Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be playing, just this. I'm going to do a Storytime video. And this is probably going to be pretty bad because this is my first Storytime. But today I'm going to be talking about, grade 1, I believe. I got glasses. Just for a tiny bit. It was temporary. Okay. And on our track at school, there was it was covered in ice. And everybody would go and slide on it. And when I was sliding, I slipped and cracked my head. My glasses, and I smashed into my face. I don't even know how that happened. Yeah, I'm just gonna redo this. Yeah, and there was a couple other kids there. They were just like, "Hey, you good?" But yeah, I was fine. And okay, that's just. I don't know why I'm being so bad. Well, so the teachers came over, and I still remember walking past the soccer nets and everything. And it was surprising. It didn't really hurt even that much. But yeah, I had to get an ice pack and stuff. I went home, I believe. Yeah. That was just a really short one. I'm probably going to do more than one story time. So, this next one I think will be about this one kid who used to be in my class. His name was Garnet. And yeah, he was pretty much just the really annoying kid that would see your Pokemon cards and be like, "Hey, those are mine," and stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna call him Garnet. So that happened. So once me and my buddies, we were just hanging out with Pokemon cards or whatever, and he was so weird. So he would be really rude, swearing in class and stuff, out loud. And then he went to the office 50 times. Not much more than that. But so Garnet once pretty much me and my buddies have this whole bunch of Pokemon cards. And once he saw one of my favorite Pokemon cards. It was very good. I think it was a GX or something, VMAX. And he was like, "Oh, I really like that. Can I buy it off you and stuff?" I was like, "No." And he was like, "I will get that," pretty much, I heard. And he stole it. Pretty much everybody was just so annoyed at him at that point. He would always just do stunts and things. But yeah. He also was just once, because I'm a big fan of Bakugan, the old one. And I have a lot of Bakugan. And one of my classic Bakugan, he liked it. It was a darkest type. And what he did, there was another instance that he just took it. Because he was like, "Hey, can I see that?" and stuff. And I let him borrow it just to play around with it. And he never really gave it back until once I finally get it back. I got it back from him after a long time. I think it was a darkest, I forget the name of the Bakugan. It was like a turtle or whatever. And yeah. I also had, I've also had like a whole bunch of Draconoids. That's one of my favorite Bakugan. And then I got like quite a bit of people in my class to like Bakugan. And they ended up like getting, because the new Bakugan came out around when I got them into it. So they have like all new Bakugan, and some of my like really good buddies have a couple of my old ones. Yeah. And the Garnet Kid, he would just be a complete douche sometimes, like all the time. But then out of nowhere, he would think that I was his friend. He'd be like, oh, you want to hang out or something? And yeah. It was just really annoying. Another thing that happened once, I was in like maybe grade 2, and there was a big thing called like Momo at the time. And we were in computer class. What everybody in the class did, I had no idea who Momo was. So people in my class, like my friends, were like, oh, you should search up this thing. It's really cool. It's called Momo. So I searched it. And I was only at like 6 at the time, maybe 7. And my parents never really liked horror, so they don't really allow us to watch it. So like that thing popped up, I search it, they tell me to go to images, and this weird like creepy doll thing, I forget what it completely looked like, was just appeared out of nowhere. And I was freaked out, and then I showed my older brother, and he was also like, what's that? Yeah. I don't really have much good story time. I'm just gonna do quite a few. Never even noticed. Okay, yeah, no. Sorry. I'm just gonna cut this out. Yeah. Yeah, a couple of my people in my class were all just like laughing and huddling over me because I was like, what? And then the teacher came over and I got yelled at. I'm happy I didn't go to the office. Yep. There was another instance. This one, I have just actually thought of it now to say, and it was about when I was like 4, maybe. Not even in kindergarten yet. And I was very, like, hyper when I was little. So, at our house, there was like these rock kind of stairs down. And I, like, was just minding my own business. Best day running around and stuff. I was kept going in and outside of my house. And then, like, what happened was I was like, well, sorry, I'm just speaking over. So I bolted outside of my door and was running so fast, and I kind of forgot about the steps. I flew off them and smashed my knees. They still look really weird from it. It's not like deformed or whatever, just you can still see that the skin's weird and messed up. But yeah, so that happened, and I like slid across the rocks because also our like walkway was rocks, so I flew off and onto that too. My mom came out, and another story. I don't know why. I've always been like about bees for some reason, and so I was also just minding my own business around outside, and I saw a bee, and I was just like, oh, that's a bee, cool. I've never really seen those that much. And I don't know really what I did to get it like mad, but I did something and it stung me, and that was the first time I ever got stung by a bee. And yeah, I was like, oh, I don't like this. And another time, it's pretty much about wasps. At school, I think I was in grade 3. I was just like minding my own business, and I think I just by mistake swatted at a bee, like running around with my friends. A wasp. It stung me, and that was annoying. That was the first time I got stung by a wasp. And then after, I had to go home and get some medication and stuff for it. The day after it stopped swelling and hurting, literally next day, my brother was walking by, like, to go and eat outside of school, because he was old enough. Everybody was just watching them walk away for some reason. You know how kids are. And what happened was, so my brother was eating like a fruit or something, and the wasp was following him. I put my hand down on this railing the second the wasp landed there, and got stung again. That was just the worst. And ever since then, I've just been like, about wasps. Whenever I see them, I'm like, I don't really want to mess with that. I got stung by a wasp again this summer. And my friends and I were hanging out, and like my one friend was going somewhere on his bike just quickly, and he would come back. When he was leaving, I put my hand down on my truck and put it right on a wasp. And I went back into my house. After like 3 minutes of just me like, oh, that sucks. I wasn't little, so I didn't cry. Why would I? Just a wasp sting. Or bite. I keep just really forgetting to jump. And yeah. So I went inside after a while. Then just like washed off the sting and like just wrapped it in something just or whatever. And yeah, that happened. It sucked. Yeah, so another thing that would always happen, like when I was like 4 again, like me and my oldest brother, we both loved Bakugan. Even all my brothers liked Bakugan, and we used to make our own cards. We would get like cardboard and then glue on like a piece of paper that was small enough and make our own Bakugan. And my one older brother, I'll just call him Matt. That's not his real name. And so he always used to make his like Bakugan cards. We would fight with them like Pokemon, and like we'd give them like 1 trillion health and like 5 billion attack power and whatever. But then me and my oldest brother and him would always like argue, and he would always say, that's not fair, why do you do that? And I was like 30 HP is gonna be the best, I'm never gonna lose. And I would do like the worst cards because I thought they would be good. Yeah, and then once I was in like grade 3 again, and because I was just bored one day, I made my own card game for my class. I think I called it like Arachnine, I believe. And it was pretty much a game that you can make whatever character you want, just make it fair. There was different like rarities. The best rarity was, I think, Overlord. I still have a couple of the cards. I just don't really look at them. And yeah, so pretty much the higher rarity, the better attacks and stuff. And everybody was making them. A couple people would make like really overpowered attacks, but most of the people were like, okay, that's chill. I get it. I play Pokemon. And yeah, so that went on for like the whole year almost. But my teacher almost had to ban it, because when I first made it, she was like, well, you can't be trading those cards, because then you're gonna make like this whole Pokemon dispute again. Because when we used to like trade Pokemon, and some kids would be like, oh, like, I want my Pokemon back, you stole it, and everything, and then it would just be a big argument, and we got Pokemon banned like 3 times. Not going back to the game that I made, everybody really like just, it was all fair. That was fun, and I would like sign the cards and everything. We would just fold paper and glue it together to make a card that isn't cardboard, because we couldn't really access cardboard. Yeah. I still remember, like, once my dad, because I always would wait for my teeth to fall out when I had, like, a loose tooth. But once my dad was like, why don't you just pull it out? It's already loose enough. And he pulled mine out, and I was like, oh, you know what? That's not even bad. I just bleed a bit. You usually bleed when taking out a tooth, so ever since then, I've just been like taking out my teeth. The last tooth I took out was actually really loose for once. Yeah. So probably gonna end it soon. Yeah, once I was really dumb. I was in like maybe like 6 or something. We were in a car ride, and I had the perfect idea to grab like a tissue or something, or just a piece of paper, and rip out my tooth in the car, because it was really loose, and I did that. That didn't end well, because I was bleeding in the car and everything, and I didn't have anywhere to spit or whatever. So, yeah. That happened. My mom and parents were just always like, why? Why did you do that? Seriously. Ooh, another thing that happened was, I was like, even 4. My mom used to have a Apple iPad, and I would always play like games on like Angry